Tarzan of the Apes. Identify these elements from Tarzan of the Apes in any possible way. The Fawala, a fictional tribe of African natives created by Tarzan in the novel, known for their hostility towards outsiders. Turcos is a villainous figure involved in the conflict. The arrow, possibly referencing the weapons used in various scenes throughout the story. The Arnaut, a French officer and friend of Tarzan who helped Tarzan in his journey. Mavonga, leader of a native African tribe and created by Tarzan, adding to the conflict and danger in the story. Kala, Tarzan's ape mother, who raises him in the jungle. William Clayton, Tarzan's true identity as as John Clayton, their heir to the title of the Lord Greystoke. The Vugani, a tribe of apes amongst whom Tarzan is raised. Most remarkable, a phrase often used in the novel to emphasize extraordinary events or circumstances. Sabor, a vicious lioness who poses a threat to Tarzan and other characters in the story. O Gabriel, a phrase or exclamation used by one of the characters in a moment of distress or urgency. Kulonga, a character who is involved into the conflict and serves as an antagonist. Kerchak, the alpha male of the ape tribe that raises Tarzan. Esmeralda, likely referencing a character part of Tarzan's exploration of human society. Numa, another name for lions in the language of the apes. Point number 2. Read and explain when these actions take place. 1. Finally, his eyes rested upon a woman directly beneath him. Before her was a small cauldron standing over a low fire, and in it bubbled a thick, reddish, terry mass. On one side of her lay a quantity of wooden arrows, the point of which she dipped into the seething substance, then lying then upon a narrow rack of both, which stood upon her other side. These actions take place when Tarzan observes a woman dipping wooden arrows into a cauldron of bubbling substance. It occurs during Tarzan's time in the jungle before he encounters civilization. No longer did he feel shame for his hairless body or his human features, for now his reason told him that he was of a different race from his wild and hairy companions. He has a aim at aim. They were apes, and the little apes which scurried through the forest stop were monkeys. He knew too that old Sabor was a lioness, and Hista a snake, and Tano an elephant. This action takes place as Tarzan reflects on his identity and the differences between himself and the animals in the jungle. It happens during Tarzan's upbringing amongst the apes, as they learns the distinguish between different species. Fingerprint proof you Greenstone. Congratulations, the honor. As Tarzan finished reading, Clayton entered and came toward him with extended hands. Here was the man who had Tarzan's title and Tarzan's estates and was going to marry the woman whom Tarzan loved. The woman who loved Tarzan. A single word from Tarzan will make a great difference in this man's life. It will take away his title and his lands and his castle, and it will take them away from Jane Porter also. I say, old man, cried Clinton. I haven't had a chance to thank you for all you've done for us. It seems as though you had your hands full saving our lives in Africa and here. I'm awful glad you come on here. We must get better acquainted. I often thought about you, and the remarkable circumstances of your environment. If it's any of my business, how the devil did you ever get into the valley jungle? These actions take place after Tarzan received a letter from the Arnold revealing his true identity as Lord Greystoke. It occurs after Tarzan returned from the jungle to civilization as he grapples with the implications of his heritage and relationship with other characters. Answer the following questions. Number one, by writing a story about characters like Tarzan, what is Varro telling us about what he considered the ideal man? Through Tarzan characters, Varro seems to idealize strength, in, independence, and adaptability as a trait of the ideal man. Number two, what is Varro's judgment of what some might call civilized society? It is pro, con, or something in between, meaning thus he sees both good and bad attributes in modern society, which characters represent the harmful effect of over-civilization in the novel. Barrow's judgment of civilized society appears to be mixed. While he acknowledges its advantagements, he also criticizes its constraint and artificiality. Characters like William Clayton represented represent the harmful effect of over civilization as they struggle with their identity and relationship in face of societal expectations. Number three, in the novel, why do violent episodes occur? What causes them? Do only bad characters engage in violence? To what extent is violence acceptable or even laudable? Violent episodes in the novel often occur due to the conflicts between characters, whether it be for survival, dominance, or revenge. Not only bad characters engage in violence, as even Tarzan, the protagonist, resort to violence when necessary for his survival. Barrows seems to suggest that violence is something unavoidable in the jungle environment. Number four, what role does nature, hereditary or blood, play in a man's development? What role does nature experience play? How do Barrow's views on this issue differ from Twain's? Barrows explores the interplay between nature and a man's development, while nature, represented by Tarzan's physical abilities and instincts, plays a significant role. Nature, nurture, depicted through Tarzan's upbringing amongst the apes and later interactions with humans, also shapes his characters. This differs from Twain's emphasis on social environment and upbringing in shaping characters. Number 5. Why does Varro think about race? What unquestioned assumptions does he seems to have? Does he ever portray his own race in a negative faction? Barrow's views on race are complex. While he portrayed Tarzan, a white man, as superior to other races, he also presents African tribes with dignity and respect. However, there are unquestioned assumptions of white superiority throughout the novel, reflecting the racial attitudes of the time. He rarely portrays his own race in a negative light, perpetuating racial uh, 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 blasts of the era. Number 6. To what extent does Jane have an effect on Tarzan? Is she a civilizing force, or how does Tarzan affect Jane? She is significant as she introduces him to human society and teaches him language and social norms. She acts as a civilizing force, helping Tarzan navigate his identity and relationship. In addition, Tarzan's primal nature and experiences in the jungle also impact Jane, drawing her towards a more instinctual and adventurous lifestyle. Question number 7. How does primitivism differ from savagery in the novel? Who is primitive and who is savage? Primitivism is often associated with simplicity and closeness to nature, while savagery connotes brutality and lack of civilization. Into the novel, Tarzan is a primitive and the antagonist tribes and animals are savage. Question number 8. How does Barrows portray Africa in the novels? Are there similarities between Barrows' portrayal of Africa and Buffalo Bill's portrayal of the Wild West? In the novel of Tarzan, Africa is romanticized and exoticized and, and emphasizing its wild and untouched beauty, while they portray the jungle as a dangerous, unforgiving environment. He also romanticized the freedom and adventure it offers. There are similarities between Burroughs' portrayal of Africa and Buffalo Bill's portrayal of the Wild West, both uh, depicting exotic locales as settings for adventurous tales of exploration and conquest. Point, point number 3. The following more specific questions should help guide you through the reading. They are generally listed in the order they appear in the book. Number 1. Why John Clayton is being sent to Africa? What might this suggest about Burroughs' feeling toward imperialism? He is being sent to Africa to oversee an English colony there. This suggests that Burroughs may have mixed feelings about imperialism, as it is despite deputate a catalyst for the events. Catalysts for the events. Number 2. What qualities separate John Clayton, Lord Greystoke, from the members of the crew of the Fuwalda. What occurs from this difference? He is distinguished from them by his novel merit, education, and refinement. This difference is attributed to his privileged upbringing and societal status. Number 3. How does the abandoned couple deal with their first experience with a great ape? How does the reaction of Lord Greystoke differ from that of his wife? They react with fear and panic when, when confronted by a great ape. Lord Greystoke remains cold and attempts to protect his wife. Their reaction differ due to their individual personalities and coping mechanism in the face of the danger. Number 4. Who does Tarzan believe in his mother? Why is she so devoted to him? How does Varro characterize their relationship? Tarzan believes Skala, an ape, is his mother because she has care for him since he was a baby. Burroughs characterized their relationship as one of maternal love and affection. Number 5. Why does the young Tarzan feel himself so inferior to his gray ape companions? He feels he feels inferior due to his physical differences and lack of knowledge about their way of life. Number 6. When Tarzan discovers his parents' cabin, what intrigues him most about its contents? He was most intrigued by the books and pictures inside. Number 7. What technology does Tarzan employ to kill Tublat? In what other ways does he show himself to be superior to his ape family? Tarzan employed a knife to kill Tublat, demonstrating his ability to use tools and weapons effectively. Number 8. What hideous things does man wear that signifies his superiority over the apes? How does Tarzan learn about this? Men wear clothing such as boots, boats, and hats, which signify his superiority over the apes. Tarzan learns about this in the books he finds in his parents' cabin. How does Burroughs describe the native blacks? What does Burroughs suggest contributes to their savagery? What corrupting influence have they removed themselves from? He described them as savage and primitive, suggesting that their savagery is due to the lack of exposure to civilization and education. He implies that they have removed themselves from the corrupting influence of civilization, which he sees as detrimental to their natural state. Why and how does Tarzan kill the native Kolunga? What makes this episode seems particularly racist? He killed Tulunga in self-defense using his superior strength and skill. Sees racist because it portrays Tarzan as the superior white man triumphing over native black character. After Tarzan killed the native Kolunga, what strange reaction comes over him? What influence is affecting Tarzan's behavior? After killing him, he experiences a strange sense of power and dominance influenced by his primal instincts and upbringing amongst the apes. What is Apes about Lord Greystoke diary? Why did he keep in the manner that he did? It's odd because it's written in French, a language he never learned fluently, and is kept hiding in a secret compartment. He kept it in this manner to prevent anyone from discovering his true identity and heritage, which what those Tarzan proclaimed himself king of the apes by defying and killing Tercos, the leader of the ape tribe. Question number 4. How does he sub the Tescos? Why he doesn't he kill him when he has the chance by overpowering him in a fight, but he chooses not to kill him when he has the chance. Instead, he separates Tercos' life as a display of mercy, showing that he is capable of compassion despite his primal instincts. Question number 15. Why does Tarzan renounce his position as king of the apes? What does he want to do instead? Because he desires to pursue a different path in life. He wants to explore his human heritage and find his place among civilized society. Question number 16. How will you describe the crew that deposited Portal Clayton party on the beach? How the stark differences between the crew and the party reveal Varud's own view. It's inspired as rule in uncivilized, contrasting sharply with the refined and educated members of the party. Those stark differences reveal Varus' own view on class and civilization, portraying the crew as inferior and less culturized compared with the protagonists. Question number 17. How does Tarzan communicate with the white people he sees on the beach? How does he warn them not to disturb the belonging in his house? Using gesture and simple vocalization, he warned them by leaving a message written in chalk on a blackboard. Question 18. What is the purpose for including Alchimedes, Q, Porter, and Philander into the story? Why are these two men so ill-suited to survive in the jungle? It's to provide comic relief and contrast to the more serious and adventurous characters like Tarzan. They are ill-suited to survive due to their age, physical limitation, and lack of wilderness skills. Question 19. While Darnot recuperates, how do he and Tarzan spend their time? They spend it conversing and learning from each other. Question 20. Why does Jane not make the connection between the man she knows as her wild jungle savior and the man who calls himself Tarzan of the Apes? Because she fails to recognize the similarities between them, she is unaware of Tarzan's true identity and background, leading to her inability to make the connection between the two people.